I'm looking to purchase my first property. As a funding strategy, I'm looking to refinance my current home and pull out the equity to use as a down payment for 2 to 3 properties. What are your thoughts on this strategy? Absolutely. I mean, I think there are two main ways that you can access the capital or the equity inside of your home. The first is to just do a cash out refinance, and the second is to do like a home equity line of credit. Of these two, I think it is most effective to do a cash out refinance if you have the ability to do so, if you don't mind going through the full refinance process. And, the main reason that I say that is because when you do a cash out refinance, there's no strings attached to that money. It is yours. That loan repayment is part of your mortgage payment already. There's no additional payments, and you've got 30 years on that to repay it. So it's fully amortized over 30 years, and you never have to give that money back. There's not going to be any follow-up questions about what you do with it, and there's not going to be any additional information that you need to provide the bank on how you decide to utilize those funds. When you do a home equity line of credit, you have a little bit more structure that you need to follow. The pro to the home equity line of credit is it is an interest only. So it's kind of like a really low interest rate credit card in the fact that you only pay interest on the funds that you use as you use it. So in the event that it takes you 8, 9, 10 months to find a deal, it's not like you just have all of your home's equity sitting in a bank account and you're making those fixed, 30-year monthly mortgage payments the entire time. With the home equity line of credit, you only have to pay the interest on the amount that you actually utilize. When it comes to acquiring additional properties, a rule of thumb that I like to use when it comes to traditional types of lines of credit is if it is short-term capital, then you need to use that for short-term debts or short-term assets. You do not want to use like a line of credit to buy a long-term asset. Now, one of the ways that I'm kind of messing up as I'm answering this is I'm kind of conflating your home equity line of credit with the commercial lines of credit. So if it is a commercial line of credit, it's generally renewable on a annual basis. So the home equity lines of credits that we have on some of the rental properties, we have to regularly pay those down and show that we're using it kind of like working capital. Also, on the commercial lines of credits that we use, they are renewable on an annual basis. So after any given 12-month period, the bank could, in theory, say, hey, we don't want to do this line of credit anymore. You need to pay this back. Or they will amortize the loan and make it like a fixed loan. However, if it's personal residence, that home equity line of credit, I think there is like a 3 to 4 year borrowing window and then like a 10-year repayment, something like that, which makes it more of a long-term debt. Either way, accessing your equity in your home on either of those two, I think is a good idea, especially because if it's your personal residence, then you are going to get some of the lowest interest rates that are available out there. And then, using that to get the down payment or using that as down payments to acquiring 2 to 3 additional properties, very solid. My preferred method, if I were to utilize this strategy, would be doing the cash out refinance so that I am immediately amortized over 30 years on that new amount that I was able to cash out. And then as I make those down payments on the 2 to 3 additional properties, I would not have any rush or burden to pay that down payment back in the near future. That would be my preferred, most comfortable route of doing it, should I be in the position that you are currently. Now, one way, if you had enough equity in your house to do a HELOC and purchase another property outright, and then, once you got that property rehabbed and rented out, if you then put that property on a traditional refinance and refinance that property with a traditional bank and did like a cash out refinance, and it was more than enough to pay off your HELOC, I think I would probably go with that one if it is more of a kind of rapid repayment. But if it is down payment money where it's going to sit in the property for a while and it's really difficult to get out of the property, then I would go that 30-year amortization cash out refinance of your personal home equity. I hope that makes sense.
Thanks for watching that clip. I thought that was a good question. And I think you can ask good questions too. Join us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a live stream Q&A where we answer plenty of questions just like this one. In the meantime, consider subscribing to the channel if you want more of this content. And if you want to increase your deal flow, analyze properties better, and help me feed my family, Click the link below for a free 7-day trial of PropStream.